Hello there, welcome to my channel. Glad you can join me today. I am Danny B, and you here. Join the fam bam, hit the subscribe button. If this is not your first rodeo, welcome back, booze, and you know how we gets down. So from the title, you already know this is gonna be one of my videos from my Greek series. And this time I wanted to discuss people coming in at the grad level and broke. Yeah, when I say broke, I mean broke to the point they can't even afford the membership fee, broke. Like, yeah. So, yeah, let's do this. Now, those of you who've been on my channel, you know, who have perused it, seen my videos, you know I came in as a graduate member. I was not fortunate enough to come in undergrad. But I knew coming in grad meant I was going to have to pay more money. And yeah, so that meant I was prepared for that extra cost. So as I was preparing myself in my head, I was just shooting for the most. So at that time, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just have $1,500 saved up. I'm hoping this is how much it costs, because if it costs more than that, I'm going to have to go pulling some money out of somewhere else. So at that point, you know, I was prepared, I was ready. And when the time came, I was able to pay what that cost was. Now, moving on to where people are now, I know people assume when you come in undergrad that their fees are really cheap. Mind you, of course, they're going to be cheaper than graduate members, but it also depends on the chapter that you come in. And so a lot of times undergrads are broke. They use their school money as a means to pay for their dues or their membership fee. And, you know, that's just how they work it out sometimes. And we're at the point we all understand, like traditional undergrads, they're broke, you know, most of the time they are, and they just trying to figure it out, you know. But once you get to the point that you're a grad, like you've graduated from college, and I'm going to say you ain't even in your 20s no more, like you in your 30s, and you're trying to join these organizations, but you ain't got it together. Now, I don't understand why people aren't being honest with themselves. So, I mean, doing general research, you will find out that these organizations, and I'm speaking of all 9 organizations, have philanthropies, and they have all type of initiatives that go on that they're going to need their members to fund or have other people help them fund. You're going to have conferences, you're going to have initiatives, you're going to have fundraisers, you're going to have whatever it might be. Y'all, it costs money. Now, I don't know if y'all knew that or not, but it costs a lot of money. And I've been a member for around 13 years, and it costs a lot of money. So the point I'm trying to make here is when you get to the grad level, when you decide, okay, I want to be a member, you should have already been started saving. You should already be in a position that you're ready to take on this cost, because it's going to cost a lot more money. You're going to have to buy new clothes. Like for your business meetings, you're going to have to, not have to, but want to buy paraphernalia or para. You're going to want to participate in initiatives and donate, because that's why we're here. We're here to help service other people who aren't as fortunate as us. And if you feel that that's too much of a commitment, then this might not be the thing for you, boo-boo, because it's expensive. Like, I really don't know what people done told other people, but it ain't cheap or free to be in any of these organizations. Like, whew, I really can't even tell you what my budget is for Zeta, because it always goes past my budget, because at this point, I'm older. I came in my 20s. I'm in my 40s now. And it's just like, you know, yeah, I don't really want different kinds of para. Like, I don't buy t-shirts. Like, I have on a t-shirt that has some Zeta stuff on it, but this was from an initiative that we did, and we stepped at a high school. So, you know, yeah, pay for it. But in general, my apparel looks different. Like, I have really high-end sweaters. I have very nice blazers. I have suits. I have very nice heels. I just like pins. Like, my Zeta attire costs money, and I like to keep it up as well. So I'm also paying for its upkeep. So cleaners, jewelry cleaning, things like that, that you really need to take into account when you're trying to join these organizations. Now, if we move on to the section about conferences, there's going to be a cost to register. There's going to be a cost for lodging. There's going to be a cost for food. And there's going to be costs for your transportation getting around and getting there and getting back, depending on where the conference is. And don't just think it's just one conference. No, most of the time there's quite a few conferences every year. So imagine that. And I'm not telling you you have to attend those conferences, but a well-informed member attends those conferences for the most part. And I enjoy the conferences because it's kind of like a mini vacation for me. Really, it's not, because it's a lot of work. But I also enjoy the fellowship that I get with my sorors and my sisters, and catching up with Zetas that I haven't seen in a while, like getting some new knowledge and skills and whatever it is that I need to be a better leader in my chapter, in my organization, and with myself personally. So I just want you to rethink your decision to come into the org if you're not financially ready. Yeah, you want these letters, but how else are you going to participate? Like, if you don't even have the money to join, let's really look at how it's going to be able for you to just continuously go through being a member and not being non-financial. And again, I'm not judging anybody for not being financial, but that's the expectation when you join these organizations. They assume you're going to be financial for life. That's just what it is. I mean, you make choices for what's best for you and your family and your pockets. But the thing is, we're assuming, or under the impression, you got it together. You are able to balance everything. You know how to have things set aside and ready for when dues are due. You have money to give to whatever the platforms are that are being pushed at that time. Yeah. So if you got to borrow money, you should think about that first, because that's saying you're not financially stable to begin with. And now you're joining an organization that's going to ask of you financially a lot. If you ain't in that level, if you ain't on that level to whereas your pockets is nice and safe and solid, you might want to wait until they are, because this ain't a game. We need those funds in order to keep operating. Those dues help fund our programmatic platforms every year. So if you're unable to do it, sit back, reevaluate your life, and understand where I'm coming from. Now, some people might look at this and be like, you talking this and that. No, I'm being real serious, because I knew coming in it was going to cost money. I come from a family of Greeks. I understand it's expensive. Like, I used to see my sister come home and her para. I'm like, okay, one day I'm going to wear a para. It costs money. It ain't free. So don't think you can just come in, lean on the shield, and expect other people to be paying your dues, paying your conference registration, buying you para all the time. Don't get me wrong. I've fronted people's costs for their conferences, for para. I bought them things, gifts, all that stuff, all that. But that comes with the relationship. That comes with, I'm secured in my money. I'm good. But that don't mean that always happens. And you can't just make that assumption that that's going to happen for you. In the end, take care of you. Worry about you first. Then think about how you can join these organizations when you are together. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. I hope you enjoyed my perspective. And if you do get into your dream organization, just think about that, because this is not a game. This is really not a game. Yeah, we wear letters, we step, we party, we blah, 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 but we also pay a lot. See you next time.